I don't know if you know this, but today's video is about pussy.
Hello everybody, TGIF. I have a nail that broke today. So last week we talked about living your life as if you're going to be single for the rest of your life.
I set out my next video was going to be about some things that I would do if I was going to be single for the rest of my life, but in true Sarah fashion, I'm not going off script again, and I'm going to make a totally different video because I'm inspired by something else. So, hope you
what am I saying right now? This week I want to talk to you about something really important and really powerful and really meaningful and totally opposite of relationships, kind of, sort of, whatever.
women.
Yeah.
About women, and girl power and supporting each other and uplifting each other and all of the things that we are told to do and we should be doing, but are we doing it? So I wanted to make a little speech, a little preach, a little talk about what we need to do to empower other women and what we need to do more of. Now, if you're a guy watching this, you could probably get something from it as well. Just understanding women in general. Like, I know watching things that are based about women and their needs and their wants, really, like, the best thing you can do if you're a guy and you watch stuff like this is just kind of take it in and realize each step is, or each thing that you take in is just understanding women that much more, because once you understand us, we will be a lot easier to deal with because
We're all crazy, so get over it.
Anyway, I was really thinking about that this week because I am in my 30s, as you all know, and I'm a bartender, and I work with a lot of people that are significantly younger than me. Some as young as like 20, 21. Some of the hostesses are like 19, 18. And since I've been in this business for so long, I've always been around, I feel like I've always been kind of the older one. I had my first daughter at 23, and I went back and forth from the restaurant business to doing office jobs to the restaurant business to doing, and you know, it's more rare, I guess the word, to be doing what I do at my age because I didn't really go to college to be like, you know, a teacher or a nurse or whatever. Like, I just wanted to be creative and have a job that paid my bills, and I found bartending and waitressing was the lesser of the evils for me because I just can't sit behind a desk. It just makes me feel crazy. As you know, like, I have to stand up when I make videos. I can't even sit down. And not that I'm hyper per se, it's just like focusing on
Tasks.
Why can't I say tasks? Do you ever know
How hard it is to say tasks, but anyways.
So I found bartending because I could be hands-on, I could be people-oriented, and make a really good money. Anyways, but with that job comes a lot of interaction with other people of all ages, ethnicities, you know, walks of life, everything. And learning from working with girls that are younger with me, I tend to be big sister, you know, even motherly almost to a point. But the one thing I realized being older that I see people do with younger girls is kind of like diminish what they're going through. And I also have a teenage daughter too, so even her feelings and her friends' feelings, you tend to think, I remember when I was young, I hated when people said,
well, you're young, you're not supposed to feel this, or you're young, you don't know what this is like, or even girls in their 30s telling girls in their 20s they don't know what real life is like. You know, everybody kind of has an entitled type of personality.
like, they've been through more than the other person, therefore the other person's stuff is not significant. Like, if you're rich, you're not allowed to be upset, or if you are in a good relationship, you're not allowed to complain about your significant other to a single person. And all of this stuff has kind of built this culture of very isocentric. Is that a word? I don't know. Is it? It sounded really smart. It's just kind of built this egotistical
Me culture where you're listening to somebody but you're not listening, you're just waiting to say your piece.
And as far as women against other women, I think it is disgusting. Now, we all get into gossip, and we're gonna talk about that, but women just tearing down other women, or people in that matter, but for this video I'm talking about women specifically tearing down other women, honestly makes me sick to my stomach. As a child, I was bullied, I was made fun of, I was mooed at for my weight. You know, I always felt like a misfit, and I was always kind of the one that was tortured, you know, as a kid. And I remember almost doing it in the opposite way to the popular kids. Like, I was making fun of them because they were hurting me. So then you just start this cycle of the person that hurts me, I'm gonna in turn, you know, think things about them or talk about them to my group, and you're not really doing anything productive. As I grew up, I promised myself that I would be empathetic towards the misfit types or towards the people that need someone, because I remember feeling very alone and very isolated and very misunderstood, especially as a teenager and as a young woman, because people older would kind of invalidate my feelings because of my age. And I think as women who are older or in their 30s or above, we need to really a big sister these girls. So I'm in a job where I'm in a position to kind of help and mentor, if you will. I don't know what kind of mentor, but that's my passion. I want to really encourage and inspire and lift up the girls that I work with or that come into my life. I've always had a passion for teenage girls because I feel like, and older, you know, now it's like 20-something-year-olds, because as I get older, the interactions get different, but just trying to understand where somebody from other walks of life is coming from can really empower not only you but them. And if you drop your guard and if you drop your bitterness on better than thou or and if you really just try to understand where somebody is coming from and why they're in a bad relationship or why they are very arrogant, or a lot of times when somebody is super overconfident and maybe braggy to a point, it comes from a place of insecurity. Or if someone is bitchy, like I think I'm the bitch breaker, because I've had some girls in my life that have been the biggest bitches and then they end up loving me because I like to break down walls with an ice pick. Like, you're not gonna out bitch me. I'll be your friend. I will love you to death. I will love you to death because and I'm not saying I'm like Mrs. Mary Poppins loving. I get involved in the gossip and all that, but the older I get, the more I'm around women, the more I just feel like we need to really just empower each other more, inspire each other more, understand, and be that bigger sister or motherly type to these younger girls that are coming up in this world of Kylie Jenners and these people getting all kinds of plastic surgery when they're 19. I mean, I see girls that are 19 that look like they're 50 because of all the stuff they're doing to themselves. Why do you think these girls are doing that? Because they see stuff and they think, well, that's beautiful, so I'm gonna get that. And instead of kind of tearing instead of tearing these women down for doing that, we need to talk to them. Sometimes just having a conversation with somebody can give you such a clear perspective on where they are in their life and why they're doing what they're doing. Because I have snap judgments all the time. Sometimes my patience is very thin with immaturity, because I'm just like, really? Like, how do you see this? How do you see the world this way? Are you stupid? And then I check myself and I remember that they may be 15 years younger than me. And what was I like at 21, 22, 23, 24, 30 for that matter? And what kind of arrogance did I have about my life? And when you really stop and think about just understanding where somebody is in their journey, it's going to kind of like soften you up to listen to them and to figure out how you can maybe help them. And helping them doesn't mean, guys, unsolicited advice. I don't mean like if someone's telling you their story and you're like,
oh, well, I would do this and I would do that. No, I think sometimes we help people with selfish motives just to be like some kind of, better than you type of person.
That's not helping somebody. Truly helping somebody and being there for someone is just understanding. Do you know that some girls have nobody to talk to? Do you know that some of these girls that you're being nasty to because you don't like the way they look, or you think they're slutty, or you think they're bitchy, or you have nobody to talk to? Do you know that some of the people that are the most meanest girls you could ever meet come from abusive families, have been raped, have been hurt? There's so many things that make women the way they are, and there's so little people that stop and take the time to understand why they are that way. Now, that doesn't mean I tell my daughter this all the time. You don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't. There's some people that are bad influences. There's some people that are toxic. There's some people that drain your energy. But what you do and should have to be is kind. Sometimes you have one conversation with somebody and it can change their whole entire perspective. But if it's not coming from a good place and it's not coming from a caring place and understanding place, they're just gonna be like, that's just one more person who proves me right. That's just one more person who makes me feel like this world is cold. That's just one more person who, doesn't value me. Listen, life is hard. I am raising 2 daughters. I don't want them to see a bitter mother that's mean towards other women. I want them to see someone who encourages, uplifts, and inspires other women, because at the end of the day, we are in this together. whether you're a mother, whether you're 21 years old, whether you're 87 years old, whatever, men too.
You guys you can have your own video, but this is about us women.
I see so much tearing down and not understanding it, so much nastiness and meanness, and I just wish people would stop and try to understand each other. I got a lot of feminists out there saying this and that, but really, are you really listening? Are we really uplifting each other? I don't know. I'm not perfect. I make my mistakes, but I really feel like a part of my existence is to be older sister to these young girls that I interact with every day. And I don't know if that entails more than what I'm doing, or even just being who I am in these girls' lives and these women's lives is doing enough. I don't know, but I encourage you, if you're in a position where you feel like you're around women of a different walk of life, whether it's older, younger, whatever, and you know that there's something that you're maybe not doing, or that you could be more encouraging, or you could reach out more, you could understand more, I encourage you to do it, because there's something beautiful about encouraging and inspiring and supporting another woman in your life, whether you want to or not. Some of the people that I really didn't like at first, if I softened myself and I just started to really think about their perspective and where they are mentally and where they are in life, and started to just kind of listen and understand, it changed me. Bitterness gives you wrinkles, people. Jealousy gives you heartburn. It's good for your health to be supportive to other people. So what I've been feeling, it's what's been on my heart this past week. If you want to come to me for any advice, if you want to give me any support, if I can give you any support, I'm always here, because I feel like we should just try a little bit harder to be more encouraging, and actually, instead of just saying words, think about what we say, and instead of actually saying things, listen with our ears and then talk when we've actually understood and taken it in. All right, so that's it. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be back next week. Maybe I'll play off of the video I did last week. Maybe it'll be someone else around. Who knows? Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Your guys' support means everything to me, and